Welcome back, everybody. All right. As I said in the last video there, I was going to do a video on an engine start stand. I showed you guys a couple. The Mustang motor had to go through. I got to put new cam bearings in it, and the cam and lifters. And then I got the Olds motor complete over there. It's ready to fire up. So this will be a perfect fresh thing for that one. And the purpose of these things, guys, you could start the motor, go through the valves, prime the engines, do all your settings, stick it in the car, hook it up, and you're done. You don't have to lean over the fenders and do this and that. You know, you can even set the timing on it. You can do everything. That way, when you put it in the car, it's turnkey and go. So it really makes them nice. But there's more to the story on this. This is hopefully going to become I'm not going to say which company yet, but I'm going to be hopefully hooked up with a company that's going to be selling these things for us. So I don't know how it's all going to work out yet, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so far, let me grab these. I don't know where I put them at. Oh, right here. Okay, so far, I've got the caster plates cut out. I took a little end mill bit and cleaned out the holes a little bit, then just kind of went around them on the belt sander, cut them out on the table. I got the frame cut out. It's a 5x3. Hang on a second. Okay, the frame is a 5x3, 2-inch square. I believe it's 1/8 wall. I think it's 1/8. Yeah, it's 1/8. And now the one that goes for the front motor mounts, the one that's going to be going across, it's going to be adjustable. It's a little thicker. I think it's 3/16 because I had it and I wanted a little bit more for the weight, and we'll go through all that. But I got it squared and level on the ground. Decided to do this one on the ground because all the tables are in use. So same thing, spaced it up, leveled it, squared it, measured from corner to corner, X measured it, got the fireball squares in place, and let's fire the welder up. We'll tack it, get some welds on it, flip it around, tack it, and then we'll put our plates on it and get the wheels on it, get some good welds on it, and get the wheels on it and get an idea of what's going to be next. So give me a second. I'm going to put get the welder all hooked up. For those of you that haven't seen, I made these cool little torch holders here with a really strong magnet. Super nice, guys. All right, make sure. Once again, you guys, we're using the Freedom 235 Pulse. I love this little thing. Little is far from what it does. That's not even a good word. I love this pretty cool little beast. Let's say that. All right, I'm gonna put it on 1/8 inch. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna try to put the voltage up just a little tiny bit from where it's on. I found it likes that a little bit. Wherever your wire speed is, put a little bit more voltage into it. As far as the factory settings goes, that's just what I'm used to, or whatever, however you want to say it. All right, let's get some. Let me tighten this thing up. It'll keep falling down on me. Only thing that sucks about this, you got to work on your knees on the concrete. Feels good. Okay, it's still on that? No. So I think what I need to do is, there we go, because I'll set it and then it jumps back to where it thinks it should be at. I might have to go into out of synergy mode. Let me play with that. I just now noticed that. Let me try it. And that might be the thing I was saying it does. Like it starts to weld good and then it goes to a different, so that's probably what, so it's on 18.5 now. Let's just see. Yeah, I like it right there. See, I think it jumped again back to 19.8. Let me go back to there. Let's try it again. Well, I need to text him and ask him why it does that. It's probably because it's in that. Oh, let me turn you guys this way. It's welding nice there. Okay, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna fully weld the other side. Weld down the front corners. Then we'll put it back around. And I'll bring you back and we'll get our plates on it, and then we'll proceed with the getting the wheels and stuff on it. So give me a second. Okay, what I've done, I've put the bracket out 1 inch that way, 1 inch that way. So we'll get 3 nuts and bolts on the outside. I'm gonna drill and tap a 5/16 hole on that inside one. I don't think it needs it, but we'll do it just to hold, for the wheel to be all 4 of them. We'll see, we'll bolt them on and see what it feels like. Let me let it cool off a second, and then I'll bring you back when we're bolting the wheels on. We'll make that decision. I got the wheels on. I did drill and tap that other one. Well, I think the tap I had was just a really cheap China brand. I don't think the thread is correct. It read 5/16 by 24, or I'm sorry, 18 pitch, and my bolts are the same, 5/16 by 18 pitch. I tapped it, did it. I couldn't get them the thread. I got two stuck, broke one. I had to cut another one out, so I didn't put the other two in. So what I'll do is I'll go a little bigger on the hole, drill out the one I had to cut. It's already loose in there because I stripped it, and that one was stripping coming out. Luckily, I got it all the way out though. But anyhow, we'll deal with that later. I'll drill it bigger, like a 3/8 or something, and put a 3/8 bolt in that one. Sorry about that, the phone ring. Okay, now I forgot what I was talking about. Okay, so I cut two 6-inch pieces, a 2-inch angle, 3/16 angle, and that's going to be that thing will be slidable and adjustable. That'll have the two mounts coming off of it for the front of the engine mount. We'll make some, and those will be interchangeable, determining what kind of engine is going to go on here. So I'll have to make different mounts for each engine. The back, I'm going to try to do some kind of a universal mounting plate, and then just drill the holes as we need them and mark them, you know, Chevy, Ford, whatever. So I'm going to try to figure out, luckily I got a small block Ford and an Olds engine here, so we can mark the Olds and the Ford off of that plate and try to make like a universal pattern on there of holes somehow. We'll figure it out. And that way I could bolt, you know, at least maybe GM, Ford, Olds. We'll just see how it goes. Maybe some LS engines. That may even have to be a different plate, but if so, we'll just cut a different plate. I'm going to probably use like a quarter plate, maybe should be plenty, with a 90 at the bottom where it's going to bolt in the back. So, and like I said, this will slide, and let's just do it. Let's just go for it here. I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. I got no room. These bones are getting old. I got this marked. I'm going to try. Whoops. I'm going to try to, I got a magnet down there, but it ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to try to, let's see how I'm going to do this without moving. I like to try to get one side hit a little bit. Stay there. Ah, it moved on me. Damn it. That ain't going to work. Let's see what I got going on over here first. Maybe, okay, yep, I can do that. Let me get this on here real quick. If I don't break that weld. Okay, good. Get one on the side here. Okay, we got that one on. I think we're still okay here. I think, looks like it. Let me grab let me figure out if that's still square. But it's gonna be like in a pivot type thing, so we should be okay. I don't think it's that far off. If it did twist a little over here, I don't think so. Let me see. Actually, let me just cut that off real quick. Hang on one second. I'll just grind that one little tack real fast. Okay. Got it cut off. It wasn't twisted, but I wanted it up a little bit, just a hair. I hit one on the side over here. Okay, we got that on there. Now I probably got it too. Oop, I got that magnet on there. So we'll be able to pick up on it, put it kind of where we need it. You know what I mean? Awesome. All right, I'm gonna weld that up. I'm gonna weld that up, and then I'll bring you back and we'll figure out, maybe we'll try to figure out what to do with the back one real quick, because I do have some plate. I'm gonna, one thing at some point here real soon, have to get that motor above this thing and figure out what's what. So give me a second to figure all that out. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, let me show you where I'm at. I got the motor over to the stand. I made this little cross piece down here with some angle, and I took a piece of 1/4-inch steel and put 2 brakes in it, drilled a hole, 1/2-inch hole there. We're gonna put one all the way through it once we find out where we go. We'll have several for different mounts, you know, for different engines, but then I cut these 2 out on the table. That was cut on the table as well. And then I made that on the lathe, just a 1-inch round solid rod, and I made a 1/2-inch hole in it on both sides. All right, let's go over here. And by the way, that I don't know what I keep doing wrong, you guys. That was all recorded, so I thought. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that was all recorded, you guys. So was this right here. I made this plate for the back mount, but unfortunately, I don't know what I done. Every time I push record, I'm really ending it. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there. I need to figure it out because I'm losing a lot of footage. All right, I'm gonna back up our stop. Let's see. Let's bring this down a little bit. I got these two little notches. I think I'm about right there. Let me bring this up to the back of it now. Is that where I want to be at? No, we gotta go forward some more. Oh, wait a minute. No? Yeah, just a hair. About right there. And I'll show you the little marks I made after we bend it here. Okay, that one's about in the center. Let me check that side. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, you guys. Yep, we're good. But when I'm pushing record, I'm really stopping it. And then I don't think to check on it because I forgot from the last time when I messed up. You get what you know what I mean? So, all right, let's put our bend in this. It's 3/16. Let's see what we got. By the way, guys, this thing bends so nice. I mean, it's like I don't even know that it's doing it. It's doing it so easy. I can't wait to finish it. I don't think we got enough in it. Nope, we're at about a 35. All right. I got this thing inside here because I'm obviously doing 1,000 things in the shop, so I need to. Oh, I got my stop on. Well, you know I better check it because I think that made a. Let's check it. I don't want to go too much. I have my stop set for those. The ones that go around the bottom 2-inch piece with a hole in them for to slide through those. So pretty close there. I think we'll try that, guys. That looks pretty decent to me. All right, I'll show you guys. Hang on. Yeah, it bent that 3/16 plate like butter. I think that's a pretty good. We'll go with that for now. But these little notches I put in it, I put these little notches right where I want my bend at in the computer. So when I bring it up to here, we just line it up with the V on the bottom of the die, and then I'll set my stopper, you know what I mean? And then we're flat against the back of that, and then we know we want to bend it where we're at. So that should be a 3-inch bend. We'll go check it here. Let's go in here. So in the computer, I made a 3-inch round hole. My measurement was off a little bit. So obviously, I'm gonna clean that up a little better. This is for the starter hole. We'll make that look a little bit better before we, mount it all up nice. Before we paint everything. And then I had to oblong these two over here, our dowel holes. But everything else was pretty much on the money. That was just taking a picture, like I usually do when I take my picture. That's all I did with that. Took a picture, some measurements, and voila. Like I said, guys, that fusion is a whole nother thing. But if it's something you guys would want to learn a little bit on, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll make a couple videos. But because maybe I might show you guys a way where you understand a little better than somebody else would. You know what I mean? I know some people, they do things a little different, and then you're like confused on how they told you. And all right, I don't have one right now, but I think I want to put another piece across in the back. Let's see what it looks like with the motor on here. I'm going to put this back a little further, and then we'll clamp the back of it instead of jack under the front, and then we can make the two mounts that go off the sides. Hang on 1 second. Let me go grab a couple things. Let's check this real quick. Okay, right from the notch, we're right at 3. Right from that little notch to the end, 3 inches. Just what it said in the computer. So, okay. So now what we'll do here is let's get this kind of squared up here. 8 1/4, 10. So we got to go that way, about an inch. Too much. That's 9, right, almost a 9 1/8. So I can probably do that with, let me do this. Let me go grab a couple clamps. We'll get it sitting where we want it, and then we'll adjust on it after we get the front ones. I don't know if this is how I'm going to keep it, you guys, like we're doing it right now, because of where it's going to sit. Maybe I might. We'll see. Let's try it. Sorry, I bumped the mic. All right, let's get this squared up a little. Let me get one over here. Where's my tape? Right here. 9 1/8. Let's clamp this one. I love these, by the way. The self-adjusting. They're so nice. But you got to make sure you're getting no obstruction. It's got to be right on the money, or you'll have a loose fit. Well, that's going to be a little tough to bring that front. I think I got it about right there. This side is just past the lip. Yeah, a little bit right there. All right, let's clamp this side down. Now we got both of those down. Let me give you guys a good view of this. Okay, Now, I don't know that I'm even on. Yeah, I am. Let me try to get that up a little bit. Well, the clamp's holding it in the back. I want this, and the thing's in the way. Let's try to get it on there somewhat on our harmonic balancer. I need to get a level, because that's probably about right. I know when I let it down, it's going to be off now. If so, why a piece of metal in there? No, maybe not. Okay, we're totally off of it. The whole weight is off. Okay, let me grab a little level. A little one, 5 foot long or 4 foot. All right, let's see what. Okay, that's showing pretty level. We're about right on the money, you guys, from what that shows. On the bottom, I'm just past on the backlit bubble on the line, about where I'm at. The front's up just a hair on the motor, just a hair. So that's sitting pretty good. But our front mounts are going to be also, I'm thinking about making them adjustable where we can raise it up and down. So I think that's looking pretty good. That plate worked out great, by the way. Oh, I never even checked that yet. The starter. I drew the hole, but I never checked it. I never mounted it. Let's see. Yeah, I just kind of drew something on there. That's why it looks like that. Yeah, we're good. We're good, I think. I'll know here in a second. Make sure that inside one fits. That's the one we got to worry about. Yep, we're good, guys. We are good. All right. Let me give us a little snug up here. I was going to go with 1/4-inch plate on this back mount, but I figured, why? It's going to be mounted all the way across the back of the, where the bell housing mounts. There's no point in it. 3/16 is strong. I mean, it really is for even something like this. Yeah, we are golden on this, you guys. I mean, I'm right. I got that pretty good. I'll worry about that inside one in a second. All right, that's snagged. Let's check our flywheel. I think it went up here. Just like that. Now, I was thinking, a lot of the guys use bell housings, like for flywheels and stuff. They don't want it to blow apart, disc break and come off in your face. So what I was thinking, maybe make like some plating that we can put just across the top of this that comes out about 3 inches, the same width as that bottom. You know what I mean? Just put us a little top on there, a little ledge, and it'll protect it. We can curve this one, curve it with that one. Same, bend it like we always do around all this metal, and then we'll just weld it to it. And that'll be, this mount will be for Oldsmobiles, make another one for whatever else we put on here. And we'll just mark them, stamp them or whatever, Olds, Chevy, Ford, and there, our mounts are made. And it's pretty cut and dry and simple. I think that worked out really nice, actually. I'm loving that. All that mounts, there's a nice gap between the flywheel and the mount there. Everything's looking pretty good. I gotta stop for a little while, guys. I gotta cut the grass and put a couple filters in the wife's car. So for this, I think what we'll do, I'm gonna take the motor mounts off. Because if I use this with this motor mount, it's kind of, you know what I mean, too close here. So I think I'm gonna take the motor mounts off, make a plate that goes in. Luckily there's on both sides the same thing. I'll make a plate up there, make something that goes up to that, like maybe that 1.5 inch square I got there. We'll drill a hole in the bottom of it, put this through it, weld this on there, this sleeve. Maybe make another one for the top, and kind of do the same thing up here. Make a plate there, put a couple gussets off of that, and do the same thing up top. And then that'll be our old Oldsmobile mount. We won't have to worry about height or nothing or anything. And as far as these holes down here goes, in the future when we make one for a Ford or Chevy, small block, big block, whatever, if the holes are close and we're going to drill like halfway into it or something, then we'll just oval it and make that one adjustable where this mount will fit and that mount will fit. But I don't see it ever having more than 3 or 4 holes on each side for probably all engines, because down here it's probably going to be pretty close. And like I said, if not, we'll slot it. And then once our bolts are there and tight, we're good. So that'll be, and then this will have the same thing. We'll do like I was just thinking about welding a nut to this and, or I'm sorry, to the inside, one on each side, and just snug them up against it, because it ain't going to go nowhere. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Maybe we'll just do the same thing, drill a hole, and put a bolt all the way through that. It may be the safest bet. We'll just see how it all feels when it's all on there. But like I said, I got to stop and cut the grass and change these filters on the wifey's car, and then I'll bring you back when we're starting to make those things there, and we'll get all that stuff buttoned up. The motor will be mounted, and then we can go over here and make the radiator mount, the battery tray, the fuel cell tray, just where everything's going to sit. Our gauge panel, we'll make something for that. I got some pretty cool gauges for that too. And we'll get this thing on. So this will be equipped with an electric fuel pump and where you can do it manually off of the fuel tank. We'll have a switch on the panel where if we just want to run the electric pump, it will be hooked into the tank. We can just do it that way. Or we'll have another fuel line. There's two things that I can feed off of on that tank, and we can go into it manually to run a manual pump. So we'll have both ways. And then I got a switch for ignition, the main power, and what else was it? I think that was it. Ignition, fuel, main power, and there was one more. Well, we'll think when we get to that. But guys, that's looking pretty slick. I like that. I like that a lot. And this thing I was worried about, maybe we was having to make another bar across here. I'm not even going to fool with that. That 3-inch lip on that plate is perfect. And then this one here, we'll have plenty of room up front for our battery, our fuel cell, nothing to be in the way. You know what I mean? It'll be nice and roomy. Yeah, this is going to turn out pretty cool, I think. All right, I'll be back as soon as I get freed up around the house here. Probably a couple hours and 1 or 2 seconds for you guys. Okay, so now for this, I got to stop for a little while, guys. I got to cut the grass and put a couple filters in the wife's car. So for this, I think what we'll do, I'm going to take the motor mounts off. Because if I use this with this motor mount, it's kind of, you know what I mean, too close here. So I think I'm going to take the motor mounts off, make a plate that goes in. Luckily, there's on both sides the same thing. I'll make a plate up there, make something that goes up to that, like maybe that 1.5 inch square I got there. We'll drill a hole in the bottom of it, put this through it, weld this on there, this sleeve. Maybe make another one for the top, and kind of do the same thing up here. Make a plate there, put a couple gussets off of that, and do the same thing up top. And then that'll be our old Oldsmobile mount. We won't have to worry about height or nothing or anything. And as far as these holes down here goes, in the future when we make one for a Ford or Chevy, small block, big block, whatever, if the holes are close and we're going to drill like halfway into it or something, then we'll just oval it and make that one adjustable where this mount will fit and that mount will fit. But I don't see it ever having more than 3 or 4 holes on each side for probably all engines, because down here it's probably going to be pretty close. And like I said, if not, we'll slot it. And then once our bolts are there and tight, we're good. So that'll be, and then this will have the same thing. We'll do like I was just thinking about welding a nut to this and, or I'm sorry, to the inside, one on each side, and just snug them up against it, because it ain't going to go nowhere. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Maybe we'll just do the same thing, drill a hole and put a bolt all the way through that. It may be the safest bet. We'll just see how it all feels when it's all on there. Well, like I said, I got to stop and cut the grass and change these filters on the wifey's car, and then I'll bring you back when we're starting to make those things there, and we'll get all that stuff buttoned up. The motor will be mounted, and then we can go over here and make the radiator mount, the battery tray, the fuel cell tray, just where everything's going to sit. Our gauge panel, we'll make something for that. I got some pretty cool gauges for that too. And we'll get this thing on. So this will be equipped with an electric fuel pump and where you can do it manually off of the fuel tank. We'll have a switch on the panel where if we just want to run the electric pump, it will be hooked into the tank. We can just do it that way. Or we'll have another fuel line. There's two things that I can feed off of on that tank, and we can go into it manually to run a manual pump. So we'll have both ways. And then I got a switch for ignition, the main power, and what else was it? I think that was it. Ignition, fuel, main power, and there was one more. Well, we'll think when we get to that. But guys, that's looking pretty slick. I like that. I like that a lot. And this thing I was worried about, maybe we was having to make another bar across here. I'm not even going to fool with that. That 3-inch lip on that plate is perfect. And then this one here, we'll have plenty of room up front for our battery, our fuel cell, nothing to be in the way. You know what I mean? It'll be nice and roomy. Yeah, this is going to turn out pretty cool, I think. All right, I'll be back as soon as I get freed up around the house here. Probably a couple hours and 1 or 2 seconds for you guys. Let me show you what I've done here. So I went ahead and took a picture of the engine, the side here, took it over to Fusion, made my drawing, took some measurements, cut them out on the plasma table, just like I always do. I cut out 2 more sets of these, and I made 2 more of these bushings. And let me take you over here. Hang on. So then I took these are the ones that came with that Weber, my mag drill, the angular cutters, and I put the stopper on this side, and all I'm doing is just repeating. I centered it all on my DRO. I got can't think today. Anyways, got my little jack back here, slide it till it stops, give it a little tap, tighten it up. You know, I got it on real slow speed, and as far as the feed goes on my bed up right here, I'm getting ready to show you. And then I just got it on a continuous. It's super slow. Let me get it up to it. Actually, it ain't even moving yet. There it goes. I got it set super slow right there. I'll cut one, and then now that's a 24 millimeter bit. My bushings are right around 25, like 24.9, almost 25 millimeter. And it doesn't quite fit in there. So what I'm gonna do is take my cone bit and go to the next size. And it's just a hair bigger. And we'll just line it up where we need it on the, over there, as far as when we put it into the, you know, mock it up. We'll tack it, and then we'll take it off of it and finish welding it all the way around. Unfortunately, I don't have the correct bit for this. This was a 1-inch piece, the DOM solid that I made these out of, and I don't know if I can get that out that way. And I have to do it this way because I had to turn it down a little bit. It had some not good. The outside of it was not good. The what do you call the? I cannot think today, you guys. All right. Man, I can't think. I was trying to think of the. Anyways, the outside surface was not the best, so I did it this way. I had to clean it off a little bit. I only took like 100 thousandths off, and then it made it to that. So I had to take like 100, maybe 110 thousandths to get it clean. I didn't want it dirty. So here I am again without my freaking glasses on. Let me stand back. Those cutters are so nice, you guys. Well, I was going to just do one, but we did them all. We did them both. Okay, let me set up this bit. Find my glasses. And I'll bring you guys right back. All right, you guys, I just did some miking here, and I found another stepper bit that I had, and it's almost right on the money. Just a little bit of slack on it. So that worked out even better. Once we get through this size right here, it's like right there, so. Boom. Get it turned around. All right, let's check it. Look at that. That's killer. All right, let me clean these up a little bit. Clean my mess up here a little bit. I'll bring you guys back over there, and we'll get this stuff tacked on. All right, you guys, I got these tacked in place, and man, is that going to be nice. I'm going to go ahead and pull these out pull these out one side at a time. I'm going to weld around the bushings and clean them just a tiny bit, and then we'll fully weld the brackets on. I got to mark my hole for where we got to drill that bottom bar. We'll pull it out. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put a hole here too while we have it over in the mill in the vise, and drill a hole in that. And that way I can just drill a hole through the chassis right there. We got to do the back too. We got to drill it. Right now the vice grips are just holding it. But right now it's just sitting there. It's on it, and it's solid. I mean, it is nice. It really is. And I just got these bushings tacked to the I think that's 1.5 inches. Yeah, everything's square, level. I leveled the valve cover to the chassis. You know how it is. So if the floor's off, that's exactly how that is. So when we roll it somewhere else, it's going to be the same as the chassis. But if you look around it, we'll go around it once I get it back together, and I'll show you. It all looks good. Both arms, I measured off each side distance. Same with the back. I got it flush to the 2-inch, and that worked out great. I'm happy because I was thinking I was going to have to add another tube in and move it that way some, but then I thought about it, because a lot of people have their batteries like under here, and I don't really like that near the heat of that stuff or the motor. So this gives us plenty of room up front for the battery, the fuel cell, maybe even a little tray down there. We can put like a water catch tray I'll build for when we drain it. You know what I mean? I'll put some kind of a tray in there that's removable, that slides, kind of like this thing. You know, we'll put it on some angle and make a tray, maybe like I don't know, a foot wide by the width of that, and then 2-inch tall tray. I'll put a little drain plug in it. We'll weld a little plug on it. That way we can drain a little bit out of what we need, take the hose off, and not make a mess. We could slide it right under where we need it. You know what I mean? That'll work out pretty good. I was thinking about that too. So we'll see as it's going. I want to make this thing super cool. So let me pop these off. I'll bring you back here in a minute, maybe towards the end when I'm welding them up. There's really not much to watch here, guys. I'm trying to just kind of do what I'm doing and show you guys as I'm doing it, to make this video not super long, and just explain it. That way if somebody wants to do this, they'll know exactly what I'm doing, and I'll take you around like I've been doing and show you some close-ups. I don't care what you, and if there's, you know, I have like those gussets on file, the plate that I made for the back on file. If somebody's got an Olds motor, because when I list this, I may put engine start stand with 350 Olds on it, just so that pulls up the Olds, you know, people. And I think Pontiac's the same as Olds too, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost sure. I don't know a whole bunch about Olds and Pontiac. I'm pretty much GM, Ford, Chrysler. I haven't done much like studying as far as how the transmissions bolt on the back on the on this and the Pontiac, but I think they are. So jot it down if you guys know. But let me do that. I'll bring you back here shortly. All right, I'm a little upset, you guys. My cut started on the outside, so I got little notches. I don't know if they all did it. I know these two did it. These didn't do it. The circle didn't do it. And for some reason, I got to go back and look in my postscript file. There was supposed to be a cut line here on both sides. Those are tabs that get bent, but I can bend them fairly easy. But this here got me upset here, so I'm gonna have to live with it. This is a battery. This is going to be the battery tray for the engine start stand. Give me a second. So I'll show you on my computer, but I fixed that little problem where it started the piercing on the outside. It was my fault. I've had my arrows on the outside, but I little tack weld on each side and cleaned it up. And these were supposed to have lines in them. I didn't choose those either, so both my mistakes. But it's okay. I told you earlier it would bend it nice. These are already bent. We're on our other bend on this one. I've got my limit set, so all we got to do is push the pedal. Stops automatic. Release it. I set my limit after I bent this one. The only thing I don't like about this, well, and it's not really that I don't like it, but it's it releases slow, those pumps, but that's okay. But there's both sides of that. Here's our, now there's going to be a bracket that goes on over the top of the battery that'll bolt in these two holes. And yeah, there's where I fixed that. There was a hole there and a hole there. I tacked it and then I just cleaned it up a little bit. But everything else cut super nice. I went around it real quick with the 2-inch roll lock wheel. And just really, really nice. They cut it super nice. I'm loving how good I got my machines. One thing, guys, I'll tell you here in a few over there, but here, let's go over there. I'm done in here because I don't want to take all these apart just to make my, I would have to take this one out and this one, and then my bend is going to still stop a little short as this gets close to that. So we'll have to finish bending it no matter what. So I'm going to try it on my smaller one. Since that's only a little width there, that should get it fine. So let's go over here. Let me cut this off. Yeah, otherwise I could take all that apart, but I don't want to deal with that right now. All right, I ended up getting 2 pieces of angle, one here, one on this side. Put it right on my line, and I cut it the width of where it's just inside of my, you know, so it's covering the whole length of the metal. And on the inside here, I'll be able to pull it straight down flat. And this is some strong stuff, guys. That's it. I don't know how I would have did it without that vise. Thank you, Fireball. Thank you, me, for building it. All right. And we got one battery tray. Pretty cool little tray, guys. Let's go over here and see how it fits, how it looks. I like it. I like it. All right, let's go. All right, first things first. I got all this stuff welded up, cleaned up the way I want it. It's all sitting on there nice and strong. Drilled my holes all the way around. I'll take you around and show you. Now, up here, I'm going to put my, remember we spoke about a drip tray, and I'm going to do so I'm not sure, where's my fuel cell? Okay, we'll grab it here in a second. Hold on. I think I'm going to do the battery tray, and then Fireball squares. I can't say enough. I'm going to do that in here. Ouch. I'm going to do that in there. And so the way that'll work is, the battery will go down, the strap will go up and over the battery, and everything will bolt solid down to the chassis. And now, over here, let me go grab it. And this stuff ain't set in stone, guys. I may do the fuel cell on that side, but 9 times out of 10, the fuel pumps are on this side, Ford's on that side. So I'll have to get a piece of fuel line or something, you know what I mean? We'll put this in here somewhere. We'll figure out where. But that's pretty cool. It's got a sending unit in it and everything. So and I got a gauge that has a fuel indicator on it. You don't need it, but it came with it. The gauge was only 18 bucks. I'm gonna put it in it just to have all the bells and whistles. This is already made and mounted, sitting where I need it, where I want it. There's gonna be, I'm just still, none of this stuff, I'm just going as I'm doing it, guys. I haven't drew out none of this stuff. I just looked at some pictures, thought about it. Here's how I want mine, okay? So I'm kind of still just throwing all that out. I've changed a few things as I've been going, but okay, so here, I don't know where or what or how yet, but I'm gonna make a dashboard on this side of the radiator at a little angle with the face of it. That way I can still get my water cap off. All that stuff's on that side of it. It'll have a, I don't know if I'm gonna put it in the dash or right beside it, the throttle. I got a little throttle arm. Might be down here somewhere, I don't know. We'll figure out where we're gonna mount it. And yeah, that's about it. This is getting down to where I'm gonna be putting stuff now. And over here, like I said, I'm not sure how or what, but I'm thinking I'm either gonna do 2 trays or 1 big one. We got a little spot in between in the front there where we can put a few tools in it. I can make another tray over there, set a few wrenches and a screwdriver in it, down inside there, maybe, I don't know. Or under the gauges, bring out a little tray where we can keep little stuff in it, either way. But this one here is gonna have a tray in it where it'll be drainable for the water and stuff. So I plan on making some kind of a contraption here with a peacock in it, with one of these drains in it. And that way, when this is all done and everything's ran and we're done taking the motor off, I can drain my water either into the pan and then just fill up a 1 gallon jug or 2 gallons of 2 jugs. However I'm gonna do that, no mess. It'll go into that or right straight in my jug with a funnel. Drain everything out, the radiator out of this hose. Everything I can get out without making as less possible mess. Put my lids on my gallons and I got them for next time. You know what I mean? I can keep them for this for, drain it, put it in until it gets dirty, then replace it. So each time this will get drained, you know what I mean? And a lot of guys run water in these guys. A lot of race cars, they tell you just to run water. They run a little cooler. Some of the guys, they'll put that water in that, the red line stuff, I think it is. And you put it in to get a few degrees cooler on your tight clearance motors. And, you know, everything's real shaved down to the last bit and they heat up faster. It all determined, some of these pistons now, they're silicone heads and they expand, and you got to make the gaps of the rings less and less, and when they grow, they're, you know, that it gets to where it needs to be at. But all that stuff is, you know, stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the stand right at this moment. So it's coming along nice, guys. It really is. I'm loving it. I am going to get a couple of flanges so I can make me a couple little pigtails here where I can put, I got these cherry bombs or a couple of fake Flowmasters. That way I can hear the motor good without it being super loud, you know, with some kind of mufflers on it, and I'll be able to hear everything, make sure my valves are correct, because this has the rollers in it. If you guys remember, oh no, you guys didn't see me build this motor, but this has roller rockers in it, and they're set at 0 lash, one or a half a turn, 0 lash, half a turn. So let me finish up the top strap for the battery tray, and then we'll I'm kind of trying to see where all that's going to go before I go welding this stuff in. Maybe I might have to move something, you know, one way or the other, and then I can weld in my radiator stand. I got these here. I got to make into, I got to cut my angles in these, so they'll go on both sides of that. So I got to cut an angle in this part and on the bottom of that, and that'll be there just for extra support. Because I may put, I'm not sure yet. I was thinking about putting some kind of a drop-in handle where I could steer this thing around or pull it, you know what I mean, type thing. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to be trying. I'll be grabbing on whatever I can to steer this thing, and I want everything to be strong, as strong as it's going to be. I know that motor is definitely strong. So, and this will too once it gets welded up and stuff. So, but let me get some things figured out. I'll make that top strap real quick, and then I'll bring you guys back when we're figuring out what, you know, to mount this, and then we'll go into making our the next part of the gauge or the gauges and stuff, how they're going to go. So give me a few. All right, let me show you guys what we got here. So I got the fuel cell mounted up. I just took some of the bolts all the way through and just bolted them, you know, nut and bolt all the way through. Got our battery tray made and bolted down. I still got to make some like spacers in between here on both sides, and that'll be completed. I just tapped the holes into the frame and threaded down the bolts into it. Here's our little gauge panel. Went ahead and made that. I broke my frickin' tap right here in that hole, so I gotta, when I take it apart, get it out of there and hopefully save that. That's gonna suck nut. You know what I mean? I don't know. I gotta work on that. I gotta try to get that out easy. But we got a fuel gauge for the fuel cell. It does have a sending unit in it, a tach. And then in this gauge, pretty cool. It's got the water, oil, and the battery voltage all in one. So it kind of, you know, takes up for 3 gauges into one there. So I got this little throttle control here. This is off of like an excavator. It's pretty cool because we can set it to where we want on our RPM to break the cam in, and it'll stay at that RPM. It's got a lock, so you just push it, or you can hold it and rev it. And if you look right there while I'm doing that, see it moving. I got all this stuff made and welded that I showed you guys. All that's mounted down, and it's very solid. I'm working on this right now. I made these 2 brackets here, and of course this is going to be different on other engines. I'm gonna have to mark these like Oldsmobile, Chevy, Ford, whatever I make for them for the throttle. But they're pretty simple to make. I just took a picture of it like I always do, made my mount holes there, just did some stuff here and made a little area here where I could put some wire ties through it. Right now I'm working on, I made this for the intake here. Same way, took a picture, notched it out for the intake, you know, got my holes there. Then I made a little, like a C bracket right here that slips through the thread. And now I'm gonna take that, and we'll do that right now here in a second, and tack that onto here. And as you can see there, I'll make another piece on the lathe or something that'll bolt into here with a hole through it that just pivots. You know, I mean, this thread will go through it here. I'll do all that with you guys and show you, and that way we'll have our throttle. And then after that, I think everything is made other than I wanted to make a thing around this, you know what I mean? Like something to keep this a little safe back here. Bring it out maybe 3 inches and go all the way around it and just weld it to our mount. And not only will that, not that it needs it because it's already strong, because this is 3/16, but it'll strengthen that when we do that, and it'll make it safer if, you know, something happens back here. Keep your hands out of it, just anything, you know what I mean? Just a little bit of protection. Most people don't even do that, and I may not do it right away. We may have to just get this started and going because I got so much to do with that other Mustang motor and everything else. I just got so many things going on. But yeah, we'll finish doing that right now, and then we'll go ahead and start getting this thing wired up, running our fuel lines. Now I'll show you in a little bit, but I got an electric fuel pump that we'll make a tray down here somewhere, because our fuel lines are going to come out down here. They'll go in through here, and then I didn't realize that either way I do this, whether I use one of those or 2, you know what, let's just wait till I don't want to explain it, because then I don't want to get you guys confused on how it's going on. So we'll do that here in a little while. Let's get that piece made up here. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me cut the welder on real quick, guys. Okay, I think what I want to do, I want to get this thing on here kind of where I want it, and then when I take this back off, I may cut it down, just because why have this sticking all the way up here? We don't need it, you know what I mean? So let me try to get this where I want it. Really, I got this in the middle of my thread, and if I put this in the middle of that bracket, we'll have some adjustment there, and this is actually halfway through right there. If I go right there, or we can also go like this, take this forward, and then put that right in the middle. There we go. And I really just need this kind of like right in there. See if I can't hold that for a second. Right in there. Let me get one. Actually, I don't want that to break off. Okay, so we're tacked on there. I'm gonna take that off. I'm gonna cut that down, and I'm gonna take it off, weld it up, cut my little, I don't know if I should cut that or not, or just leave it. I'll probably just leave it. It's not in the way. And I'm gonna go ahead and weld where I made my, and I'm gonna also do this too when I take this back off later. I'm gonna weld where I did my reliefs for my bends. I'm gonna weld them probably just on the outside and clean that up. Same with here, it'll just strengthen it. And the only reason why I did that is because I didn't break it on the brake. I did it in the vise over there because I had to keep doing a little bit at a time to get my angle on this one down here and here. So I made it to where it was going to be easy on me, and then I'll just weld these up. It's no big deal. You know what I mean? It's just the way I wanted to do it. Same with this. I got it mounted in here, and then I started bending it around with I got a great big crescent wrench and twisting it and making it perfect. And that way it's right where we want it. So let me pop this out. I'm gonna weld this, and I'll bring you guys back here. We're gonna go ahead and make this real quick. Not real quick, but let's get this done. That's gonna be a, thing to do. It's gonna take us a minute. All right, give me a few. All right, let me show you guys what we got going on. Okay, so went ahead and got this all welded up. I mean, that thing's really strong now, and that's just 1/8 inch. So it turned out nice, but you can see how that is. So once I weld these up, it'll strengthen it up like this. It's pretty strong, but not that it needs to be. I'm just saying I'm gonna still do it just so it doesn't bend around, something bumps into it or something. But I made that on the lathe. It's got a C-clip on the back there, if you can see it. Just clips on the back, and it's free to spin in there. Sorry, it's free to spin in there. Drilled a hole, put some flats on each side of that in the mill. Just pretty simple stuff. Drilled a hole in it, tighten them up, put a little spring in a hole right here in the plate, and let me show you how it works. It's hard to do it with my left hand, but it's all working good. So we got our throttle, and that's all the way back over there, and everything's good. So now I think, hang on, I was tightening up my throttle head. There we go. This thing was loose right here. The knob was. I need to tighten the set screw, but the knob was loose. So I think what I'm going to do now is probably the longest part of what's left is run some wires. Get my ground set, drill a hole down there for my ground. That's kind of something, I mean, it's going to take up all the film if I sit there and record all that. Basically, I'll be just doing it the same way and showing you guys after I'm done with it, but it's pretty common sense what's what as far as how you power, ground, run I've got a sending unit and some fittings to go for the oil and the temperature that goes in the motor that came with that thing. And then this is just the 2-wire plus the wire for the light. That'll run down to these. Same thing, 2-wire. And I'm just going to tidy it up, run it up like I kind of did on the lathe there, or on the plasma table. Drill some holes, tap them, and I still got some of them 5 and 6 millimeter pan head, Allen head bolts that I can use to screw in, around the chassis where I'm going to be wire tying stuff with the eyelet wire ties. Hang on, let me put this in the thing. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll get that wired up, get some wires ran, get some power to some stuff, just make sure everything's working. Now the fuel system, that's what I was going to tell you guys. Here, let's go over here and I'll show you real quick. Okay, so I got an electric fuel pump that I'm going to have the option. So if I want to go manual pump or electric. Well, and then what I done was I got a Y. That's what I was telling you guys about. That thing's got dual outlets at the bottom. You can use them both, or you can use one, however you want to do it. Well, either way I do it, it's going to require, and I got to get one more of these. These are like $10. Either way I do it, I'm going to have to get another one of these shutoffs, okay? Because once I go into here from my dual, from my I'll go in with my fuel line from the tank. This is my out. One will go to the electric pump. One will go up to the motor to this is a number 10 A&N to a 3/8 fuel line, barb. So that'll go, essentially there'll be another fitting up there off the end of the hose that came in this is a pretty cool little kit, guys, and it's very inexpensive. It comes with 10 foot of this nylon braided and a whole bunch of fittings. I mean, this was a heck of a deal. It's got these where I was just talking about what I was telling you, to put two together. So that'll go like that. And then one of the hose ends, wherever we bring the hose up and stop it, this will be on the hose, and then this will come up into that. You know what I'm saying? And then that'll be wherever we tie it up on one of the mounts or arms or something, and then we'll go with a 3/8 to the pump. So that'll be for the manual pump. And then same thing goes with the power one. We'll have a separate switch. So essentially, if we don't want to use the manual, you're going to have to cut off the fuel flow on that side of the Y. If not, you're going to be pumping fuel out. You know what I mean? So that one will get shut off. This one will get cut on. We'll have two of these that come out. We'll just make a short hose and mount them where we can get to them nice and easy. And it came with also these little, I mean, this is a heck of a little kit. It really is. And you got these little hold downs, you know what I mean? You can use them however you need to do it. Pretty cool. Run 2 lines together. So anyways, I think I got everything except for one more of these. So, and I'm not in a hurry today, but I need to get another one to make that work the way I'm wanting to work now. No sense in putting all this back in. So I still need to make a little plate for this to mount down in the chassis there in the corner, right around the fuel pump area, where we can just go right into it. And I just thought of this. We're gonna need, I'm gonna have to make up some fittings that go from this to that. Or yeah, actually I can use the barb, one of these, the ones I just showed you, this one here. I can go from the line to get a screw and barb on this side, and then put a piece of 3/8 hose on there. Unless they have something that goes from that to AN, I'll have to look, but that's pretty small. I may have to put an adapter on it, we'll see. And then this side is barbed. So what I'll do is have a piece of 3/8 hose that'll come off of that and feed up to the carburetor on whatever motor we need to go with the electric fuel pump. So, okay. All right, that's what I wanted to show you, and I didn't want to sit there trying to explain all that to you guys down there on the ground earlier when I was telling you about it. So, let me start running some of these wires. I'm gonna make a couple grounds for the chassis off the battery, just a few things, and run a few wires down, just see how it's starting to look, and I'll bring you guys back periodically. That way you guys can see what I'm doing and how it's going. So give me a little bit. All right, you guys, I'm gonna take you around this thing and show you what I've been doing. So I got it pretty much wired up. It's pretty much ready. I gotta put the coolant in it. I found some hoses at O'Reilly's, cut some down. They don't, come to find out, they don't make too many more flex hoses anymore. Well, they don't get them, so I need to look around because I need some with bigger ends, with like almost a 2-inch ID. This is like 1.5 inches on both ends, but the lower is like almost 2. So I had to just kind of remember what it looked like. When I went in there, I found a hose that looked something like it. It had another little end down there, and I just chopped it off, and it seemed to fit okay. This is a little funny here, but I'll keep an eye on it so it don't suck shut. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys before, but I was making these in the computer a while back. This was for the first motor, but they're set up for an Olds. But the ones you can buy, you know what I mean? I 3D printed the hold downs and cut this out of, I think that's 1/8 inch. I think that's 1/8. I got some pipes on it. I do have a couple of those, and I have some like fake flow masters. So we'll see. I went ahead and put the blowproof, if that's what you want to call it, the 3/16 plating around this. Once I take this all back apart, I'll clean that up in there nice and make it for the next motor. I got to check my torque on the flywheel real quick. I got to prime the motor, the oil's in it. You guys seen all this, I welded these all up. They're nice and solid. This all worked out great for the throttle. Put me a little spring right there. I still got to weld these where I did this relief cuts on both ends, but I can do that when I take it off. It's okay for now. As I said, I put the alternator back on it. The lower pump hooks to his power steering, but it's all solid. It ain't going nowhere. I wired it. We'll see what happens. They require a one-way diode. I can't find mine for some reason. I had a whole pack of them. I need to look one more place, but this requires like a one-way diode in it. That way the power is only going one way, so it can't go back. Because if not, it may not want to turn off when I hit the switch. No matter where you mount that at, it'll keep it running. So this is 12-volt switch, but you have to put a diode in it. I got my sending units in, went down to Rural King and got some little adapters and got it all to work. Everything, let me show you. I'm not going to hook the big cable up, but I'll hook the little one up. So everything powers up. Now this here, I added another one. That's for the lights on the gauges. And there's a bare wire in the back. You can hook it to a ground button, and each time you tap it, it changes the color of those, which I'm not too concerned about that. I got this in here for later, for our electric fuel pump. And this, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it like that or use it for something else later on in the future, and then just hook these up to 12 volt with the switch, with the main switch. But it all works. This is our fan, and then this is for our ignition. I got it to where you can crank on it without the ignition being hot. So the fuel cell's in, it's hooked up. I didn't do, I only did one side of the fuel outlet. I made a short little hose, and I got the one cutoff, turn off valve there. So what we'll do is, when we put the electric fuel pump, I got to get some fittings for it. We'll do the same thing. I'll make a little plate here to mount the fuel pump somewhere in here. And then we'll get one more shut-off valve that shuts that side off. You know what I mean? So we can control either manual or electric fuel pump, whatever we want to use. That's about it. Like I said, I got to prime it. I got to plug off a couple of vacuums here. I haven't got the vacuum advance hooked up yet. I don't know which one. I think it's this one. I think this is vacuum when you give it throttle. This is all the time vacuum, I think. And I still got to block this one off. And I got one more in the intake here. I got to put a little, like just a, you know, one of these little plugs. And what else? I think that's it. Everything else is there. Like I said, we got to put the water in it. Thought I had to tell you guys something else. Oh well, if I think about it, I'll tell you as we're doing it. Let me get the stuff together for our priming. We'll go ahead and prime that now, and I'll find some little block offs here. We'll get it all primed, get everything blocked off. We gotta get our antifreeze in it, and then we'll figure out what's up with the mufflers, and maybe we'll get it fired up today. I think I got some gas in the shed, so let me get some stuff for the priming. I'll be right back. All right, you guys. So yesterday, I started putting water in it, and well, 50-50 with a little bit of antifreeze. And right in here, as I got to the top, you know, fuller in the radiator, it started like gushing some water out. So I took it apart and found out that it was the wrong gasket in the kit. It wasn't, the gasket was up here like this one is here, if you can see that. There's a piece of gasket there, but it wasn't no gasket in between the body of the water pump and where it seals at. So I haven't poured no water in it yet. And what else did I do? Oh, I spoke about a resistor. I'm sorry, a diode. I found one. I found my diodes. I think it's the right size, and I put one in there. We'll see how that works. I'm getting ready to put the water in it, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put the mufflers on the back so we can hear it, so we can hear the motor instead of just loud, you know, pipes. And then we'll get this thing fired up. I think I might put the water in it, maybe do a pressure test first, just in case. I don't want to go through all that crap, you know, and have it running and have water gushing out. It kind of went everywhere when I drained it. I caught most of it. There's still some probably in the block, you know, where it started filling it up, but there's that. So let me, I got to change this battery in the camera too. I don't remember if there was anything else that I did. You guys, I think you guys seen these. No, yeah, I don't think you did. I made these wire holders, and they got little 3D printed parts here where it holds them down. But these wires, when he did them, the way the firing order is, I can't get them the right size to fit along that. So I'm gonna see if he'll buy some new ones, because I'm gonna powder coat these either chrome or maybe gold like the block, or I don't know what yet, but I'm gonna make them look nice. So you guys seen this, I think. I got all that welded on nice, our housing or protection. And all right, let me get the water in this thing, change this battery, and I'll bring you guys back here in a minute. All right, so I just tacked those on. I don't care about a little exhaust leak, just to quiet it down some. There was a spot up here where whoever did this exhaust, it was a big hole up there, so I wanted to fix that so there was no exhaust leak when we get it back in the car. This is a little weird deal here. They tried to make some kind of a crossover, but there was never a clamp or anything right there, so we'll put a clamp there once we get it back together. I'm not sure what thought they was going to gain some horsepower there. I don't know. It's just a stock 350 olds. I don't know. Some things get in people's heads and then they swear by it, but I don't think that would have done anything for it. Just my opinion. All right, we got that welded. Hang on a second, I'll rearrange all this and then we'll get this thing fired up. Give me a second. Okay, on a flat tappet hydraulic cam, I've always, to break a cam in, I've always just fired them up and then get it to about 2,000 RPMs and let it just run like that for about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, and then shut it down, let it cool off, and you're pretty much good to go. I've never had an issue doing it like that, and there's several things out there that state that. This has an electric choke on it. I don't have it hooked up. Let me find the screwdriver I got. I don't know what I did with it. Well, Take it out somewhere. I got the water back in it. So far, there's no leak where it was yesterday. What did I do with that? Oh, here it is. So I got the fuel. It's up to par. No, that ain't gonna work. I don't want to do that because then it'll. Let's try that. Well, I don't want to do that either. That thing is like. There we go. Yeah. So what I done was I brought the #1 piston up, dropped the distributor down, set my #1, and got the distributor right within that area. Usually you're good to go right there to fire them up as long as you're not 180 out. But what I'll do is I'll turn it over and try it again until that pops back up and see it on the distributor. You know, do a full revolution and just make sure you're not 180 out. If you are, pick it up, spin it around, drop your distributor down. Yesterday I did prime it. Here's what I used. And the only reason why I didn't record that is because it's really nothing. It's kind of boring. This is just a 5/16 socket on here. I taped it off so it doesn't fall down in the motor. And then just put it down in there, and whatever way your motor firing order is, counterclockwise or clockwise, that's the way you spin it. This one was counterclockwise. And that's where I messed up in the beginning when I set these wires up the first time. I think I had it recorded where they was all mounted up and looking nice, but I went 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2 clockwise, and my wires had a decent amount. I had it looking good. Well, counterclockwise, I tried every single way to get a good fit with these wires, and I couldn't get it. See, because these got to run, you know, with a little curl out here and straight down that rail, all of them. And look, they're just too short. That side, I could probably do it, but anyways, these are a little bit older, and I think he'll be okay with buying some new ones. But all right, let's get this thing fired up. The fuel on. Yep. Give it a little bit of gas here. I'm gonna crank it over without the ignition on for a second. All right, let's do it. Woo! That belt. I'm gonna slowly bring it up to keep. Oh, we got a fuel leak. This is a good thing about. Is that a fuel leak or? Oh yeah, the hose is split. Okay, hang on, guys. I'm gonna put a new hose on that. It's got a little split right in the middle of it. All right, round 2. I don't know if it was where I spilled a little gas up here. I seen it doing some weird bubbling. I hope it wasn't the water. But this thing has this backing plate on it, and it was all like corroded and pitted. I tried to clean it and file it down nice the best I could, and use the right stuff, gasket stuff. But I don't know. We'll see here. Might have to find a new plate for that. I don't know. Oh, now we got our. That thing would be screaming. There's really nowhere to get that thing. A little funny. That's probably about 2,000 there. Just keep an eye on things. Sounds pretty good. Good oil pressure. Temperature. We got a good charge on it. I'll cut the fans on. I don't know why that keeps jumping. Oh, we got a little bubbling going on here. Let the thermostat open up. We'll be about getting ready to open up. 185. Yeah, I think it's starting to flow. I think these gauges ain't grounded good. Let me shut this thing. Where the hell did I do my cap? Sorry, I put that cap on there. Waiting for that temperature to go down a little bit. The fan is on. Okay, we're getting a little warm. Yeah, 230. I thought that damn diode worked, but it didn't. Let me cut this fan on. Yeah, we was getting up to 230 or 40. If that's right, because these are all over the place. I'm wondering if my ground ain't good up here, because they're just jumping around. I'm gonna let this cool back off, guys, because it's not good to fire them right back up like that. So I'm gonna wait, let it cool off, and then we'll give it another go. And I'm going to try to run a new ground for that, because that thing should not be, you know, I don't have a ground going to the motor. I'm wondering if I should ground that, but I got solid mounts on it. I don't have a rubber mount on it, so we should have a ground. I'm going to check it with a meter. Let me do that, guys. I'm going to check all that with a meter and stuff. And our fuel gauge is working. It's at full, and we did have a charge. I'm gonna cut them lights off just so I don't kill this battery. Let me check these grounds and stuff and make sure. I'm wondering if that thermostat ain't sticking. Boy, this thing just has all kinds of. Well, so far the water pump's not leaking, and we do have pressure building up. Oh yeah, there's pressure in it. So I don't think that thermostat's opening. Yeah, the lower hose is cooler than the top. So we definitely ain't got an open thermostat yet. Probably sticking. I might even, that just sucks because I'm gonna make this drain on this radiator, you gotta pull it all the way out and it makes a mess. I need to put a different peacock on there where it's got like you unloosen it. You guys are probably not even seeing that. Yeah, you are. Yeah, that peacock on the bottom of this thing is, yeah, see, look, it's cooling off and I'm still at 235, but it ain't circulating. So it's just cooling this off, you know what I mean? So the block temperature's at that. Let me check a few things, the grounds, to make sure. I'm going to get my temperature gun out and double check the temperatures and check my ground to the motor. Make sure that's all good, because this can't be correct. So give me a few. You guys, real quick, this is what's great about these engine start stands. That leak, you know, this stuff, just figuring everything out before you get it in the car. If you need to go back through your valves, on and on and on. You know what I mean? That way you don't have to lean over your fenders if you got a sharp car. Even if you don't have a sharp car, it's hard to do all that. Take the radiator, fans, and all that stuff back out of the car. It's just a pain in the butt, you know what I mean? So this is the great thing about these things. All right, be back in a little bit. Okay, you guys, I got this thing. It's pretty much finished up, other than I want to add the electric fuel pump. It's pretty much finished up, other than I want to add the electric fuel pump setup. And let me show you that. Well, I'll take you over here. It's like in little pieces. I've had some things going on with this engine. So apparently the head gaskets on this thing are like can be put on wrong, or you can buy them wrong. So what the problem I'm having, everything with the stand is pretty much done other than the fuel pump, like I said. And I wanted to make like a cover pan down here for underneath the gauges, which I'm going to show you here in a second. But I had to change the gauges because I had a 3-in-1 gauge for the oil temp and voltage, and I ordered a cheap set of mechanical gauges because I was having false readings on my oil pressure and my temperature too, actually. Because if I do it with the gun on the motor, it's way different than it is on the gauge. So, but when I ordered these, I thought it was going to come with the line where it's a hose with the pressure going through it, which I wanted that. But it came with another same type of sending unit with electric wires. And this gauge is getting weird readings too, which I'll show you here in a second. We'll start it real quick. I don't want to get it too hot because I got to take it apart, and I'll tell you why here in a second. But everything's done. Everything works great on it, other than I'm going to figure something out with the gauges. Hang on a second, let me show you. Okay, so here is the new panel, which I do like a lot better. I changed the panel. I like this so much better. I got 2 extra switches here that I'm going to use for the fuel pump, and I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with this. But look at this guy, real quick, guys. This frog will not stay out of here. Look at him. You see him right there on the ground? He just won't stay out of here. Go that way. Go that way, frog guy. I mean, this is every day. I pick him up with my I got like a little thing just so I'm gentle with him, and I go put him in the yard and he comes right back. He won't stay out of here. But anyhow, hang on guys, let me put him back out here. I don't want him to come in here. There's so many chemicals in here. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. I took him out on the other side of the shop there. I only put him by that out there by that AC unit. He come right back in. Anyhow, here's this little setup. So it will be the fuel pump. And I'm going to make another video, guys, where I paint this and finish it. I just want to get this one out to you guys. But this will go like that. These two will hook together. There's a hose in here. Then I have a Y that'll go tie this one in here and the manual line that's coming out. And this will go up to the carburetor. So you can cut these off, run electric or run manual, like that. And we'll put one of them switches on this fuel pump. I got a bunch of 3/8 hose here, and this is a cool kit. These people here, no sponsor, but this Evil Energy, it's a braided fuel line, and it comes, you can get any size, and it's good price on these AN fittings, you guys. Really good. Check that out if you guys are looking for, and they have all kind of fittings, reducers, sizes, males, females, everything, and they're really affordable. I know some of that stuff you get through like Jegs and places like that is very pricey. Okay, so this thing's done. Like I said, I got an issue with the motor. It sucks, but I got to take the heads back off. And what's going on is you rev it, the lower hose starts to suck shut, and we'll do it real quick so you guys can see it. And I can't get I can't get it to start. I can't get the air out of it. There's an air pocket in it. So I believe there's a hole in the, I was reading, there's a hole in the back of this engine and the head. And if you block that or put the gasket on the wrong way, it will do what it's doing. And I believe if it ain't that, it's a different gasket, and it's kind of doing the same thing in another area. So you're basically blocking off. You get different temperatures here and to the front. So I'm cooler back here than I am up front, and it's not letting it circulate. I even took the pump off thinking, and it's a brand new pump, I was thinking the impeller is, because you could get these to where you put the wrong gasket on them and the impeller changes inside if you have it too close or too far away, and it does weird stuff. Oldsmobile is real touchy with stuff like this, you guys, and I didn't know. I haven't built too many Olds motors, but there's little stupid things like that you have to look into when you're building one of these. Hang on. Yeah, there's little stupid stuff like that when you're building these things that you need to know. If you don't know, you'll be in a situation like I'm in. Hope you guys can see this. I think so. Let's fire it up real quick. I just want you guys to see that suck shut. And then I don't want to get it too hot, like I said. Pretty cool too on the gauges. Check these out. They all light up nice. They all light up nice. Everything, like I said, everything works great. Give it a little fuel here. I don't have the choke on. This thing has a little couple sizes over stock cam in it. They call it the Fireball Weekend Special. It feels like it's going to have some good power to it. But everything works. The volts, all of it. Right now we have it charging. But this here, you guys watch that lower hose. Watch that lower hose suck shut. See it? All right, I'm gonna kill it. Got a good little idle to it. Yeah, I don't want to get it too hot. But the stand works great, you guys. Everything, I'm really happy with it. Hang on one second. Yeah, the stand works so nice. Couldn't be happier with it. I'm in the process of making another rear mount plate for the Ford 289 stroker motor that I had to take back apart because it went from just changing the cam out to now the cam bearings was shot in it. But I put new cam bearings, mains, rods, all of it. I'm just, you know, I don't want to have no more issues. I'm that far into it, and I'll show you that real quick. Yeah, if you guys look, this thing is like, I'm waiting on the rod bearings. They'll be here today, but I got all this stuff ready to go. It's cleaned up. I cleaned all my pistons up. They had a little bit of carbon on them. But these bearings, if you look here, I know this has nothing to do with this video. These are not even the worst ones. This is the rod. And this is probably, guys, where the oil pressure was not working. Oops. But this, it's not scored if you feel it with your nail, maybe a tiny bit, but I'm not going to chance it because I think I see a little copperness to it. And when you see copper, don't put them back in because they will wear fast, and before you know it, that thing will be hammering. And I just don't want to do that to somebody, you know what I mean? So all new cam bearings, mains, rods will be in it now. So if anybody is interested in the car, there's a couple people, there's another guy that's wanting it. I don't know what's going on with that yet. We'll see, but if you're interested, let me know, shoot me a message. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna take that thing back off. I'm gonna get this motor built today and tomorrow with the Ford motor because I need to get it back in the car. But I think I want to start it on the stand too. So I'm getting ready to cut the rear plate out on it so it's done. So when we're ready, we can take that one off, mount this one on. All I gotta do is make a little mount for the motor up front. We could probably still use the same arms down there. I'll just make it to where we have like a like it is up on that one there. So we'll just make a little block plate, and then we can mount the Ford up. I want you guys to see this, so I'll bring you back when we're stripping it down, cleaning it, painting it, and whatever the changes. I'll probably wait until I do the next video to mount all the electric fuel pump stuff up. Maybe we'll do that together, and then we'll paint it together and put it back together and see the finished product. But a lot of people just build these and leave them like this, guys, and they, for the most part, don't rust because it still has scaling and stuff on it. But I want to paint it. You guys know, anything I do finish that I've finished, we paint them up or powder coat them. We may do both. Some of the mounts and stuff will powder coat. But once again, you guys, I'm sorry about the videos not getting out every week right now. I'm working on it super hard. I have so much going on. I got a lot of stuff going on in and out of the dentist with my teeth, the work over there. My white truck's got issues. Trying to go to work with that. It's just so much stuff, you guys. And then just doing these videos and editing, it takes so much of your time up, but I'm trying very hard. And hopefully one day we'll be where it's not this. So thank you so much, you guys. Stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you on the next one.